What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? All right, so here we are. I am playing tomorrow night. We're playing a festival. I don't remember what the festival is called, but we're playing a festival tomorrow. And it's a fireworks thing. So we're going to be playing from like 7 to 10 Eastern, I think, and then there's going to be fireworks. It's out on a lake. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. Yeah, beginning of that holiday season of Independence Day for here in America. So pretty excited about it. It's probably going to be pretty fun. So I'm not going to do very much singing tonight because I'm singing tomorrow at a show. So today's going to be mostly probably talking and playing a little bit. Hope everybody's having a good night. Hope everybody had a great week and are looking forward to the weekend. So I figure we can start with playing, and then we can talk a little bit. So I found this really cool backing track. We're going to play that for a few minutes and then see what happens. I got the Les Paul Studio here today. I've not pulled the plastic off the pickguard yet. I can't do it. I still have on my 07 Strat, I haven't pulled the sticker off the back of the trim cover because, I don't know, something about pulling it off. I don't want to for some reason. So yeah, here we go. This has the roller nut, has the locking tuners, has the fine tuners and the roller bridge. The pickups are stock though. Let's go. gonna stop. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hopefully we didn't have too much weird audio with that. I don't know, man. That sounds really bad in my headphones, so hopefully it doesn't sound really bad to you. How's everybody doing? Just sitting here with my Les Paul today. Move the camera a little. There, now you can see some guitars. Yeah, sitting here with my Les Paul tonight, just hanging out. Not really much special going on. My ear feels weird today. But that's all right. Hopefully you can hear my voice okay. I don't know. I'm trying a different microphone. My good mic is packed for tomorrow for my show. Let's play something else, I guess. Hope you're doing good too. Doing that for 5 minutes. I need to check this stuff before I begin. Jeez. All right. Thank you, Super Tech. I appreciate it. Hadn't got this out for a while. Doesn't have a tremolo. I need to do something about that. Yeah, endurance test. No kidding. I mean, I'm playing for 3 hours tomorrow night, so, you know. I haven't played a gig for like 2 weeks. So this is actually good. You know. Get my juices going again, right? Yeah, my night's going great. I'm having just chilling tonight, you know. There's really no objective here. We're just sitting here, just talking and, you know, playing some guitar, right? All right. Pre-gig routine. Well, yeah, let's talk about that. So my pre-gig routine, I don't usually run through the set the day before because we play the same songs pretty much every week. I mean, we have some like what we call parking lot songs, and so those are songs we don't always play, but we could play them. Sometimes I'll dust those off and prep for those, but to be completely honest with you, I don't practice for the gigs. I don't practice the gig songs really. Unless I mess it up, right? So if I mess it up at the gig, then I'll practice it that week and make sure that I get it perfect. Really, during the week, I'm spending all of my extra time when I'm not watching my daughter or spending time with my wife. I'm down here either writing songs, recording videos, editing videos, or responding to YouTube comments. That's pretty much what I do in my spare time. So yeah, my pre-gig routine doesn't really involve playing through the set. I do look at it sometimes, though. For example, we haven't played for a couple weeks, so I did look through it just to make sure I didn't forget anything. We are adding one new song, or 2 new songs. Now that you mention it, I need to learn it. I've got like 19 hours to learn a couple of solos. There's the solo from We Will Rock You. Let me see if I can remember. I went through it for a minute last night, but I didn't actually like nail it. I should probably be in tune first before I try this. Sorry. That's better. All right, anyway, the solo to We Will Rock You, I have to, like, learn that, because I guess I'm playing that tomorrow night at the show. I could just improv it. But here's the thing. I improv a lot of solos. If it's a song that's really famous, I try to do close to the same solo because people expect it. Like, if you're playing You Shook Me All Night Long, you kind of have to do... You know, you at least have to start with that. Like, that they expect that. But yeah, worst case scenario, just improv it. I'm going to have to, like, nail that, though. I have to learn it tonight. Like, before I go to bed tonight, I have to have this down. Something like that. That was out of tune already, though. I messed up a couple notes on it, but if I did that tomorrow, I'd be happy because that's somewhat close to what it's supposed to sound like. Like that. So that's one thing I have to do. And then I also have to learn the solo for Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I'm not singing that song. However, I probably will be singing backup. Just wanna. Behind our female lead. She's the lead singer of the band, so she's singing that one. I'm not singing that one, but I do like to be silly and sing like that harmony sometimes. But there's like that keyboard solo, you know, that it sounds like it's popping. It's like something like that. So I have to learn that too. But I'm not going to do that on the stream because that would be really boring. This is really boring. What we're talking about right now is really boring. Sorry. How's everybody else doing? You guys having a good night? Had a good week? Looking forward to having a good weekend? Did you get to hit this crazy high note? Yeah. I pull out my inner Michael Anthony. I just think of Michael Anthony's harmony on like Judgment Day or one of those crazy songs. And I think, hey, just channel Mike. Pretend that you're holding a bass in your hand. Pretend that you just chug the whole bottle of Jack and hit that note. Clench it and just go, you know? Yeah, so I do some pretty crazy high harmonies sometimes on some of our songs, and I don't know. I've never asked anybody if it annoys them. It either annoys them or amuses them, and I can't tell. And I don't want to annoy people, you know? I don't know. I like to put on a good show. You know, I like to move around, and I like to show, you know, it's entertainment. It's not just music, it's entertainment. Is there anything you guys want to talk about in particular? Any guitars you want to see that I've got that you've seen me review or that you see behind me? That's only half. Actually, that's less than half of them that you can see. The other half are in various places scattered around this complete bomb pit of a basement. I need to clean it. Anything in particular? If not, I'm going to just keep rolling with this one and pull up another backing track. If you guys want to talk about something, we'll talk about it. You know, just let me know. Here's a good one. Also, I have my headphones over here so that I can monitor, but there's really bad latency, so they're just sitting here. So if you notice that, like, the volume is bad, like if the guitar is too loud or if my voice isn't loud enough, tell me in the chat. I'll see it, and then I can fix it. Oh, that was my washing machine. Heard a noise. Like, what is that? All right. Washing machine. All right, let's go. All right. That's fun. So this is how I practice. I've just recently here this month decided to start streaming while I do it. I mean, if people want to see it, great. If they don't, that's fine too. I don't know. I figure I might as well. It's like practicing with friends in the room, you know? If you guys have stuff to say or want to talk about stuff or whatever, you know, it's nice. Is my microphone loud enough? I hope so. I think I'm out of tune again. There we go. So, hello again. Hope everybody's doing great tonight. Is there anything that you guys wanted to talk about? Any guitars you wanted to see? Any type of music you want me to play? I am here to do your bidding, for the most part. If you don't have anything in particular, then I'm just going to either just talk or I'm just going to play. Really, the only two options I got. Current favorite. Oh, man. It changes pretty much every day. Like, it's probably my Kramer Beretta. Yeah, the Beretta. I've got 3 Kramers now. So I've got the Beretta Special, which I love. I've got the Striker 100 ST, which I love. And then I got the Beretta. It's an 85 or an 86, best I can tell. And that guitar is like legendary. I hate to say this to you, but it is packed in my truck outside in the garage. Well, not in the garage. It's in my truck in the garage. Yeah, in the garage. So I can't play it for you right now. But it's probably the Beretta. My other favorite is the Washburn Force 2. It's a really weird guitar. I played it on a stream last week, I think it was. Yeah, it weighs a ton. It's probably because of the Floyd, because it's an original Floyd. The one I have is original Floyd, so it's like full steel. Like it feels like the trim itself weighs 5 pounds. It's super heavy. It's worth it though. I mean, when I put that guitar on, wow. I've just realized I didn't pack my guitar strap for that guitar for tomorrow. Hold on a second. I'm going to go get it before I forget. I'll be right back. We'll talk about this guitar when I get back. I'm going to go set this outside the door. I'll be right back. Okay, that would have been horrible. If I would have got to my gig tomorrow and didn't have my strap. So I've got strap locks that came with it, actually. That Beretta came with strap locks. So I have a strap with strap locks on it. It's the only one I have that has strap locks on it. I mean, you can put a normal strap on a guitar with strap locks, but not advised. It could fall off. So here's the Washburn that I was talking about. It's super janked up right now, though. As you can see, there's a guitar string taped to the bridge. Why? It's got a grounding problem. So instead of taking the strings off and taking off the pick guard, I took a guitar string, I tied it to the tone pot, and then I taped it to the bridge. And believe it or not, it stopped the buzzing. That's like don't do that. That's very terrible advice. I don't recommend that at all. But this is it. It's the Washburn Force 2. I found it on Marketplace. Somebody was selling it. Really cheap, and I really liked the way it looked, and it had a tremolo system I'd been looking for forever. I bought this guitar to take the trem off and put on something else, but I like the guitar so much that I'm keeping the trem on it. It's called a Wonder Bar, and I know we've talked about this before, so if you've already seen me say this, I'm sorry, but the Wonder Bar system is a top-mounted, flat-mounted tremolo. There's no trem block on this guitar. Everything is up here. It bends on a little fulcrum, spring-assisted, and there's no springs in the back, there's no trem block, nothing. It's all, I could take this and put it on a Tele, a Les Paul, any guitar that doesn't have a trem, literally just screw it on the top of the guitar, and the strings go through this end, go under these rollers, go up to the bridge, and then the nut goes behind the existing nut on any guitar. So I was wanting a Wonder Bar, but they're like $300 just for a used Wonder Bar, because they got discontinued because Floyd Rose sued Washburn out of making them back in the 80s. So I really wanted this trem, and then I found this guitar that already had one. So I got it to take the trem off, but I love the guitar, so I'm leaving it like this. The pickups are good, but they're very weak, and I don't know if that's age or design. I can't tell. They're covered, plastic Washburn covers. The pickups sound great. They're just very dull sounding. They're not very loud, very low output. Three-way switch and then a volume and a tone. But I'll show you an example of what this trem can do. Keep in mind all of this is happening on the surface, kind of like what the FRX is now. Stays in tune remarkably well too. I love this guitar. I love the way it looks. I love the aesthetic. I love how old it is. It's just a really neat instrument. I think it's a looker. So this is one of my favorites right now for sure. I don't know why I have so many black guitars, but I don't know. Happens that way sometimes. So yeah, I'm gonna play this one for a little while now. Yeah, if Batman played the guitar, he'd probably play something like this. I imagine Batman would play like a goth Les Paul or something. He doesn't need a trem. He's gonna be in drop B the whole time. He'll play Batman in drop B, because B stands for Batman. It's also remarkably easy to play. Like, the strings are really, really slinky. Like, these are 10s, and they feel like 8s. And I think it's because of the way that it goes into the bridge, because it's right here. This is where it stops. So I guess that's really no different than a Floyd. Not a little bit closer than a Floyd. Yeah, when you switch between guitars like this, sometimes you just got to get used to it, right? Because it feels different. The radius on this feels kind of Fenderish to me. It's like between 7 and 9. 7 and 9.5. Can't really tell. All right, so want to play some more? Or you want to talk about something? Hit me. I'll play something. Let's see. What do we want to play? I want to play something a little slower, a little more, with a little more feel, you know? B minor. Change the amp setting. This is not right for this song. I keep saying it, but I keep finding these backing tracks that are like 12 minutes long, man. Can't keep doing that. It sounds kind of like single coils, but like more muffled. I can't decide if I like that. I mean, I like this guitar, and I think it's worth putting better pickups in it. I'm thinking because, I don't know, I don't own anything with actives, so I'm thinking about maybe doing that in here. I've never owned any actives before. I think that might be a good idea. I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta go clean, you know? Yeah, these pickups are really weak. They're as high as I can get them without touching the strings for the most part. So I don't know really what to do other than replace them. I hate to do that, but, you know, it's like 40 years old. So I'm sure the magnets have gone not so good. Excuse me. Over the years. I'm boring you guys. I'm sorry. Let's see. What do we want to do now? Mellow, dreamy, melodic backing track in G minor. Oh, okay. You know, this time I'm going to look at how long they are. Let's find a nice short one. Oh, how could I not, though? This one's 8 minutes long, but I love this backing track. It's really fun. We're going to do it anyway. I think it's an A. Okay, I got my taste of it. That's good. That's good. Let's put on another setting. It goes on for 5 more minutes. That's fun. I sung it lazily because I don't want to blow my voice out because I got to perform tomorrow. All right. 5 minutes and we'll be at 1 hour. Unless there's anything you guys really want to talk about, I'll probably just do this for 5 more minutes. So let me find something for us to play that's 5 minutes long. So many choices. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, we're not doing that because I think there's lyrics in here. I don't want to play it if there's sound or... Yeah, I don't want vocals. Sorry. There's less of a chance that copyright hits it if there's no vocals in it. I mean, I guess honestly I don't really care all that much, but... I don't know what this is. Oh, I like it. love playing that kind of stuff. Hey, John, what's up? So I was going to post it to the Discord, and then I started, and then I remembered to do it, and then I forgot. And then I remembered to do it, and then I forgot. So I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I've been doing this I'm going on an hour. I was going to quit, but now that you're here, maybe I'll keep going. Tom Petty? I do, actually. Let's see. We do Last Dance with Mary Jane with the band. That's one of our songs that we do. I love, like, the song Refugee. That's probably my favorite song by him, Refugee. And Running Down a Dream. I love those two songs, but Refugee, that's a good song. I used to listen to Tom Petty a whole lot. I guess I still do, really. I've been neglecting his music lately. I should probably start listening to it again. I'm glad you're here, John. Whew. Playing that kind of stuff makes my arms hurt. It's crazy, you know? You can spend hours and hours and hours a day or a week playing and practicing and writing and performing and stuff. And sometimes you still get that right here. Right here. Every time we play Freebird, right here, right here. Oh, man. I don't know if that's because I'm getting older or if I'm out of shape or... It can't because I need to play more because I play all the time. So I spend all my time. I want to play an easy song now. I'm going to switch guitars again. Does anybody have a request for a guitar? If you don't, I'm just going to pick one at random. Sometimes I go, but I would say if I had to label it, I would say that I have a softer touch. Okay, I'll surprise you. Yeah, I have more of a soft touch. I don't usually go at it like this, ever. Like never, ever, ever. I always try to have control, but sometimes I kind of get carried away. Maybe I got carried away on that last song. I don't know. All right, let me go get a different guitar. Sorry about the buzzing. Actually, I can mute that for a second. Hold on. There, I'll be right back. All right. I picked the one you guys definitely don't want to see. So this is the W guitar. My dad... Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So my dad, he works in real estate, and he was at a property, an abandoned property, and there was this guitar laying in like a million pieces in this vacant property, and the owner was like, yeah, you can take that. That's fine. So he took it and brought it back. So... everything in this guitar I put on it except for the neck and is the wood itself. So to keep with the spirit of the condition it was found in, I literally just used junk that I had laying around. So I had a pick guard and I just cut it. Had some old knobs, threw them on there, had some old pots. These pickups, one of them I got, I don't even remember where. The other one is the stock pickup. Okay, let me get this right. This pickup is is a pickup from the Les Paul 100 that we did when we took those pickups out. And this pickup is from the SG Standard that we did. So I put those in here, and I had to rotate them so that the strings would line up because this is a F-spaced, and those came from a Gibson-spaced guitar. In the middle, I've got a Hot Rails humbucker. I don't remember where it came from. It was in my drawer out in my garage. I just screwed them straight into the guitar, and then I filled as many holes as I could with screws, and I put a W on it because when me and my wife, when we got pregnant, we knew that our child's name was going to start with a W, but we didn't know if it was a boy or a girl yet. So I just put a W on there. So this is the W guitar. This was originally it says Bombshell on it. So I think it's a Hard Luck Kings. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those, but they make, very interesting like custom guitars very cheaply in China and import them. The neck's really nice on this. I really like it. It's missing a knob, as you can see. It works, but there's no knob. It's terribly out of tune, so let me tune it real quick before I turn the audio back on for the guitar. It's in F. Whoa. There we go. All right, let's it sounds amazing. It sounds way better than it's one of my best sounding guitars. I have to admit this. I've not gigged it though. I think I would get thrown out if I took this to a gig. Listen to this guitar. It sounds absolutely amazing. Yeah. So now what's interesting about this is I don't know. It should be crap. It's literally junk parts. It's leftover parts from other projects that we've done on this channel. This might as well be called the BigJake guitar because it's made of all of the things. So when we do those mods, I take those stock parts off, right? And I throw them somewhere. Some of them go into that drawer thing you see behind me or on my shelves. This guitar is made from all parts taken from those videos. I think the tuners are from the Bullet Mustang, the first video that we did, because I replaced those tuners. This nut is the original nut, though, but everything else on this guitar is not original. I think this bridge came from maybe the Squire series, the Black Label, because we put the Fender bridge on there. Yeah, so it's pretty fun. Yeah, so I love this guitar. I use it for recording all the time because you can't see it, right? It sounds great. I mean, I guess there would be nothing wrong with me taking this to a gig. I don't know. What would you think if someone walked on stage with this? What would your thought be if this punk ass guitar player shows up with this? Yeah. I'm really sorry to hear that. That's absolutely terrible news. But that's a really good idea, and that's really great that you did that, named it that. Yeah. Guitars are special, you know? You think it was cool if someone showed up with this? Well, that would make one. My wife makes fun of me every time she sees me playing this guitar. She'll be like, "Oh, here we go." I did take it to band rehearsal one time, and when I got it out of the case and plugged it in, they said, "Are you bringing that this weekend?" They liked the way it sounded, but I get it, I get it. I get it. But this is not, I don't know. I should paint it. It has matte finish, which is really weird. Yeah, it's got a matte finish. The best thing about this guitar is I can do whatever the hell I want to it and not have to worry. Like if I break it, I mean, anything short of snapping the neck in half or like breaking that's really all that could happen. Break off the headstock or snap the neck. Anything short of that, who gives a shit? If I drop it, pickup breaks off, I don't know what the hell I would be doing to cause that to happen, but if it did, you know. It's like my Dodge Ram, right? I got a 97 Dodge Ram, and it is old, beat, dense, rust, but it runs strong. It's got a 5.9 V8, and it's running because I work on it all the time. But the good thing about that is if a shopping cart runs into it in the parking lot, or if somebody bumps me in a fender bender, or if somebody dings my door, I mean, obviously I care because it's mine, and I love that truck, but that's the thing about having a beater. You find the best in things, and that's the best in having a beater. Whether it's a guitar or a car or whatever it is, you don't have to worry about it as much. They should be more worried about the rusty red paint that came off on their door than the little scratch on mine. So that's the bridge pickup. I guess I should I don't think I'm ever going to review this guitar because why would I? Who cares, There's no reason to review it. What am I going to say? I really recommend this guitar, guys. Go buy these 8 guitars and pull all the parts off of it to build this, Yeah, I love these guitars that are special to us. I love them. Other people don't care, but we do. That's what matters. It makes me real. I don't know if I should be worried or not, but if I ever made it, right, and I had a signature guitar at this moment, it'd be this. How would I feel if my name and face were attached to this? I don't know. I guess it's better than being boring, but I don't know. I like it in spite of what it is. Okay. I want to show you more about this guitar. I haven't shown this guitar to anybody besides my band. So, that's why I want to show you. I'm going to put it on the neck. So, check it out. Okay, so the neck pickup's very microphonic. Listen. It's a cheap set I bought on Amazon. The thing is, it sounds amazing. It's just very, very microphonic. This one's not so much microphonic. Just barely. How's my night so far? Man, it's going good. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining. It's going good. My right ear's ringing like a bitch right now. Comes and goes. When I started doing this stream, it wasn't doing it, and then it started doing it, and then it stopped, and then it came back. Now it's doing it again. I don't know. I think it's getting better, but it's really hard to tell. I don't know if I'm just getting used to it or if it's getting better. I don't know. But my night's going well, Just chilling. I play tomorrow night, 7 to 10 Eastern, United States. So, in the United States. So, I'm just staying fresh, practicing, playing, trying to get everything ready to go for tomorrow and streaming while I do it, I guess. I never really plan these things. If these things become more successful, if people want them, I'll do it on a schedule, I think. I'll specify a day of the week or something that I'll do this. Yeah, if I dress it up, it would kill the tone. The tone is in all the imperfections. If I didn't have this hole covered with this screw, it would sound bad. I appreciate that. Thank you. So here's the neck pickup. I really like the way that sounds. I was going to recommend these pickups and do a whole video about them, but you can't do anything but record with them. Because if you try to gig this...
and you have a microphone. There's a guitar pickup.
So, can't do that. Here's some of the split positions. Okay, here's is that a Hot Rails? Sounds I haven't played on this pickup in forever, but my memory tells me it sounds terrible. Let's listen to it now and see. I guess that's not so bad, that middle pickup. That's all right. Now, I accidentally wired the middle Hot Rails and the bridge humbucker in reverse phase of each other, so it sounds really weird. Some people do this on purpose to achieve a certain sound. I did not do this on purpose. This was totally an accident, but they're out of phase. So it sounds kind of underwater, kind of nasally. How would I recommend carving out the trem block? Well, don't do what I did. If you watched my video, that was probably the worst moment of my channel. Of all the things that I've tried to do, like I've made a lot of mistakes on stuff. Like that Mustang video, I made a bunch of mistakes. Hammering the back of that guitar is the dumbest thing I've ever done on this channel. Don't do it like that. I would recommend getting a wood router and being very careful, very slow, and measuring it very exactly, and just doing it that way. I would get a low power, one that has an option for lower power, by hand. You can get them fairly cheaply. The other option would be to very slowly carve it and whittle it away with a knife or something. Yeah, I don't know. It ended up working out for me, but I know it's messed up on the back now. I'm never going to sell that guitar, though, so, like, I don't care. That little sliver of wood's not going to change the sound. But if you're worried that somebody might want to buy it later or if it would bother you really bad if you messed it up, then just be really careful. Use a wood router and go very slowly and do it in multiple passes. So instead of trying to route out the entire depth at once, do a little bit and go a little deeper, then go a little deeper until you're all the way through where you need to be. If I had to do it over, that's what I would do. The other option would be to just get a smaller trem block that's made of something heavier. So like usually those Squires, they and the Starcaster sharp wood chisels, you could do that. But don't take a screwdriver and hammer it like I did. That's the dumbest thing I've ever done. Um anyway. Oh yeah, I was saying. So Squires and Starcasters and stuff usually come with like those zinc blocks, the really tiny ones. I usually have one sitting right here, but it's such a mess I can't find it. But they come with those little zinc blocks. In fact, this guitar has one, right? So your other option, you can get a short and narrow brass or steel block. I don't know how much of a difference it would make between a normal size and that, but I bet that would have a huge advantage over a zinc one. So that's something to think about. You could also just get a smaller block made of something better and try that first. For example, my Beretta Special, which is back there. That Beretta Special, I bought a new trem for it. It didn't fit, and I remembered what I did to the Starcaster, and I gave up, and I just sent it back. So, I'm going to end up putting, I'm going to do what I just suggested. I'm going to get a small form factor brass or steel block for that guitar probably. Let's see. You may or may not have taken a screwdriver and gone to town on a route. I think a lot of us have tried that because that's like our animalistic instinct, right? It's like, I got to make this bigger. I'm just going to beat it with something sharp and make it. Yeah, no. Under the impression full sizes are the way to go. You may have just given me a video idea, Digi, or Diggy. I hope I said that correctly. Because there's a lot of that. I don't want to call it snobbery because maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe there is some truth to that. But in my experience, I only played Strat style guitars for like 15 years. Like I didn't even own an Epiphone or a Gibson or anything forever. And I've had all different kinds and all different sizes and all different constructions and origins of trem blocks. And I have not noticed a humongous difference between sizes. I've noticed a difference between materials, but not sizes. I think that my Beretta Special might just be a bastard or something because I got the Fender 6-screw bridge and it wouldn't fit. Okay, it fit, but it was grinding against right here. Every time it would return to 0, it would smack right here and like chip wood away. So I grinded it, sanded it, did everything I could to try to open that up a little bit more, and I think that it was cut unevenly on mine. So I could probably route it, but I don't know. I also thought about surface mounting a Floyd in there, but I don't really need to do that now. I have a Striker 100 ST. I have an 86 Beretta, so I don't really need to do that. Or 85 Beretta, so I don't really need to do that to the Special, but I think it would make good content, though, for those of you who don't have something like that. If you have a Beretta Special and you wanted to put something like that in there, the Railtail would probably be a good option, too. Yeah, the finish in mine wasn't great. I think I went over that in my review, but overall, though, like even given the flaws that I found, it is the absolute best value for a new guitar. And I know people would say, what about Harley Benton and Firefly and IYV? Like, those are great value, too. But I have to admit, the fact that the Kramer Beretta Special says Kramer on the headstock is really cool. Like, the way it looks, the headstock shape. I'm actually going to go get it, since we're talking about it. I love this guitar. I have to admit, I haven't played it since I got my my 85 Beretta. Heavier sound, so you open the neck pickup with a wood chisel. That's the way to go. I mean, gotta do what you gotta do, right? Sounds dumb. What's the difference between using 5 springs and 3? Starcaster came with 5. Okay. This is a very hot topic, okay? And if you guys disagree with me, that's totally fine. Like, I don't have like a personal opinion so deeply that I'm going to be offended. But the answer is that it's up to you. It depends on how you want to use your trem. So, for example, on this guitar, what I like to do is I like to make it just loose enough that it lays flat, but when I bend, it slightly raises. And the reason for that is I want it to be easy to use the trem. So, for example, so the more springs you have, the more difficult it is to use the trem. So if you have 5 springs, it almost is impossible to use it. You will probably end up bending your tremolo arm before you end up successfully moving it down as far as you want to. Now, if you don't want it to move at all, you can put 5 springs in there and then grab something, anything, a stack of quarters, a wood shim, whatever, and stick it between the bridge and this side of the guitar, and then it won't move, and it'll be stuck there. It'll be like a hardtail. And there's merit to that. I mean, hardtail strats sound amazing, and blocking your tremolo is the next best thing. You do the opposite, though. Let's say you only put 2 or 3. There's 2 options for you there. You can either have it like I just explained, where it still lays flat when it's not being used, and then when you use it, it's easier to move, and then it returns back. That's one way. The second way is, let's say you only put like 2 springs. Now, it's slightly raised so that you can go in both directions, kind of like a Floyd. So instead of just going down, you can also go up. So it'd go. I don't have this one set up that way because I find tuning issues that way, for me personally. So yeah, that's the long answer. As far as what's best, it's really 100% up to you. I mean, I had for 10 years, I ran my Fender Strat with 5 springs because I was convinced that the springs were adding resonance. They were like adding to the tone, which if you have a really microphonic pickup, that might be true. And it may be true in general. I mean, if you guys have had that experience, say so. But that's something that I've seen. Yep, exactly. So, yeah, I have to admit, as time has gone on, I have grown massive disdain for the Fender vintage tremolo. Like, I use almost exclusively Floyd Rose now because of how amazing it stays in tune if it's set up properly. Like, if you have a Floyd that's set up properly, it's amazing. You feel like Superman. You can do anything you want to, and it stays in tune. With the Strat tremolo, every single one of my guitars besides one, use the trem and you're out of tune. And I've tried everything. I have lubed up the nut. I have lubed up the saddles. I have done everything I can possibly think. I have tightened the springs to the point where they are just gripping this thing down so that it doesn't move, so that it always returns exactly where it needs to go. It doesn't matter. Every time I use the damn thing, it goes out of tune. Now, there are 2 ways you can mitigate that problem if you have it. One way is use the trem and then tune your guitar. Every time you bend a string or play a string hard, it's going to go out of tune. All you have to do is use the trem again, like this, just like real quick. So you're playing. See what I did? Just doing that puts it back in tune. That's one way. The other way is bend all your strings real heavily and then tune. Then you'll stay in tune, right? If you use your trem, you'll be out of tune. To get back in tune, grab your string like this and just pull on it while you're playing. That's what Eddie Van Halen did before the Floyd Rose was invented, to keep his guitars in tune. He would bend all his strings, he would tune them, and then he would play. And as he played, You might notice this in the old concert tape of him. While he's playing, he's like pulling strings like this while he's playing. And what he's doing is he's pulling the strings back in tune after he'd used his trim. Well, awesome. I'm glad that I inspired you. I really am. Mustang and Jaguar. Yeah, I got a soft spot for Mustangs. It's taken everything in me to not buy that Sonic Mustang, the red one. Um, I love that. I love Mustangs. Jaguars are also amazing guitars, but I will admit it was too complicated for me. I didn't like all the switches. I love the way it looks, but I didn't like all the switches. And Starcaster, you cannot find a better value for a Strat because it's full size, it's made by Fender, it looks cool, and you can do whatever you want to it. It's great to learn how to mod too, because Fender's Strats are the easiest guitars to mod. So if you mess it up, unless you screw up the wood, you can easily. I mean, if you let's say you break the pickups off and you break the pick guard in half, get a new pick guard for $8 and buy some cheap Amazon pickups for $10. I mean, Strats are great. Strats are great. I think you're going to really enjoy that. Clapton used to say the springs give the guitar a tone. Yeah, I kind of feel that way myself. Now, how much of a difference does it make? I don't know. Does it give it any kind of a thing you couldn't achieve using the EQ knobs on your amp? Probably not. Let's say that it adds a little bit more treble. Why couldn't you just go to your amp and turn the treble? Now, I understand there's more nuance to it than that. Like, it could be, it adds like a glassy tone, or it adds like a, and I have experienced that. I have some guitars here that sound so different. Like my 2002 Affinity Squire, for some reason, that guitar, played acoustically, sounds different than any of my other electric guitars. It is so resonant. It's almost like a dobro or something. I don't know how or why. I've looked at that guitar inside and out and can't figure it out. So there may be some truth to that. Maybe the springs that it came with back in 2002 had different, material construction qualities or something and caused it to be more resonant. I don't know. But I've never played another Strat or Fender guitar with that kind of a trem cavity that sounds like that one does acoustically. It doesn't come across well in a microphone. I actually tried to show that in a video one time, and it didn't come across very well. But yeah, the springs probably can affect your tone, but it's real. And the thing is, it's up to you. Only you can tell if it's good. If you can tell, that's what matters. Oh, absolutely. Between hardtail and trem, I agree with you 100,000%. Absolutely. Because, I mean, if with the one, you're going into the wood, you're going to go into like some metal ferrules or something in the back. And then on the other one, you're going into a zinc or a brass or a steel block, which isn't actually fully attached to the body of the guitar. It's kind of floating or screwed down with screws as opposed to actually the string being held in by the body like a Telecaster. I've always wanted a hardtail Strat, like a real hardtail Strat, not one that terminates at the bridge, but one that goes all the way through the body. But I'm kind of a sucker for tremolos. Like I can't. Lately, I've wanted to take my Telecaster and my Les Paul to gigs, but I haven't because I really, really like to use the trem. And I don't know if that's immaturity or if I need to get over that. It's not me saying, but that's my style, man. I need to have my trem. No, it's that it's part of, like, when I'm playing. That's, like, part of the instrument. I guess it would be like if you had a piano with no black keys. Is kind of how it feels to me. Like, having the tremolo is, like, part of the instrument for me. I hope that makes sense. Now, you're forced to be more creative and innovative when you don't have a trem. You have to come up with ways to make things work without it. But I don't know. I appreciate that. It's taken me 20 years to figure out how to use it properly. Like, I got my very first Floyd Rose ever 2 years ago. I think it was 2.5. It was right after I started this channel. So it was right after I got the Mustang. I got a ESP LTD. I think it was an FM 1000 something. It was like a snake burst black color. And it had a Floyd Rose. And I'd never had one before. I had no idea what I was doing with it. Absolutely no clue. I didn't know how to change the strings. I didn't know how to intonate it. I didn't know how to do anything. And so my first recordings with that Floyd Rose, I still have them, and they are hilarious because I'm literally like just going nuts with it and not really understand. I had no technique, zero. I had no idea what was going on, and it changed my entire perspective on the instrument of the guitar after I got it. I no longer have that guitar. I actually traded it away for to somebody. I ended up getting a Wolfgang and a Ibanez for it. Some guy that I found online. But I no longer have that guitar. But it changed everything. Like I use a Floyd all the time now. It is like my favorite part of playing the guitar is having that Floyd. You suck using a trem. I did too forever. And some people it's just not their style though. Like would Johnny Cash use a Floyd Rose? Oh man, I'd love to see that though. Could you imagine? He's playing Folsom Prison on a Floyd on a Les Paul with an FRX. Man, have I ever had any interest in bass? Oh yes, I own a bass. It's behind me. It's a Epiphone Thunderbird. I got it when I was in high school from one of my friends. Most of the song covers that I do on this channel, I'm playing bass on them. Most of them, and that Thunderbird bass is the bass I use. So yeah, I've always had interest in bass. I really appreciate and respect it for what it is. I really appreciate and respect the mindset you have to be in as a bass player because you're like an extra drum for the drummer that the drummer doesn't have control over, and it's just I don't really know how to explain it. I'm not a bass player though, so I'm not going to pretend like I have like this amazing insight or wisdom into it. I will admit I look at it like it's a guitar with four strings, but I also try to remember that it's part of percussion, really. You're carrying the whole song with the drummer. So yeah, I have a lot of interest in it. In fact, every gig that I play with my band, I play bass on 3 or 4 songs. So, yeah, I do have a lot of interest in the bass. It's fun. I've been thinking about getting another bass, but like, do I really want to go down that rabbit hole too? Like I've already got like 30 guitars. Do I really need to start getting basses too? I don't know. I think for me I should just stick with my Thunderbird, and if I want a new bass, I need to sell it and get a different bass. Just have one. I do want a P bass though. Those things are cool. Or a Bronco bass cuz they're shorter. I only use it for recording. Luckily, the bass player in my band lets me use her bass when we play, so I don't have to bring mine with me. She has amazing basses. She has like Music Man. She has a 70s vintage Fender. She has like the Paisley Fender bass, the one that's painted with like flowers and stuff. She's got a bunch of Kramer basses. She's a really good bass player, has an amazing collection, and I get to play them all. It's awesome. Let me go get the bass. I'm gonna turn. So I'm gonna turn the speaker off on this amp because I don't want to blow it up. And then I'm gonna put it on a clean setting, and turn it down just so that you can hear it. Okay, I've got it on. Let's see if you can you still hear this. Oh wow, that's really out of tune. There's not supposed to be delay. I don't know why there's delay. Anyway, I'm gonna go get my bass. Here's my bass. Epiphone Thunderbird. I chose it because at the time I had a red Epiphone Firebird. I'm going to check the audio real quick. All right, I think we're good. Here it is. This is my bass. I love this guitar. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm really lucky because I get to have the one. Like, if I had to choose one bass, it would be this. I mean, it would be a Gibson, but it would be this Epiphone Thunderbird. I absolutely love this guitar so much. And honestly, I don't know how it works. I don't know how bass switching works on this guitar. It's got 3 knobs, so I'm going to guess that it's like independent volume for each pickup and tone control maybe? I don't know. I don't know how this works. I'm the biggest noob of all time when it comes to bass. She hands me her bass at gigs. I don't even know how to turn the volume down. Like, I don't know where the knobs are. I don't know if it's the same as a guitar. I'm afraid to touch them because, you know, she has them set like on a certain number for each thing, and like I don't want to mess with it. I just leave it where she's got it. And so I just hold my hand over it. Although with a bass, I guess it's different from a guitar. Like if you let go, you're not going to have like a bunch of feedback and stuff like you might with a guitar. As long as you're muting it, I guess you don't need a volume knob. But yeah, this is my bass. I love this thing. Yeah, so that's me playing bass. I play it like it's a guitar. I play like when we play live, I play Uptown Funk on bass. That's one of my songs. Yeah, anyway. I play Sweet Caroline. How's that go? I play Shake It Off on bass. It's a Taylor Swift song. I think that's it right now. I enjoy playing bass though. It's very different. It forces you to be more creative with your playing, I think. And yeah, I play it like a guitar. I play it with a pick. I also fret the first the string on top with my thumb. I do that a lot on the guitar too. That's just the way that I don't know if I don't want to say that's the way I learned. I guess it is. But more often than not, I'm using my thumb for my root note on the guitar and on the bass. For some reason, it's easier for me. Like if I play it like this, it's harder for me. I'd rather use that finger up here to do other stuff. Because if it's down here, I can't. How am I going to do this? If I'm in A. So if I wanted to do that, right, and I'm playing with my first finger. See how awkward that is? But if I have my thumb here, see? Use your thumb. Got a Bronco bass. Pickup is decent, but I'm wanting to swap it out for something else. People say hot rails are good. Depends on what your goal is. I know that's a really shitty answer, but it depends on what you're trying to do with your bass. Like what tone or what sort of sound you want. for me, like the kind of bass I like in a song when I record it is very, I don't want to say sub bassy because that's not really quite it. I like less defined bass. I like bass that kind of fills the frequency up in the mix, as opposed to bass that is like really really defined. Unless I've written it that way. So like if I was doing like a funky kind of song, oh yeah, I want all that definition. But if it's just a rock song, I like where it's a little bit more subdued, a little bit more part of the drums. And for that, you'd want passive, low output. But if you want to have like super defined, super punchy bass that you can tweak, hot rails. Yeah, that's the way to go. Active if you can do it. Yeah. I've always done that with my thumb. Kind of like your fire, anything about bass. So these are just basic passive Epiphone pickups. I also know nothing about bass pickups, but these are stock. It's what comes in them. Let me look. You know what? We have the internet. Let me look it up. I can tell you exactly what they are. It's an upright coil humbucker with 2 Alnico bar magnets. That's what it says on here. And here's a bunch of forum posts of people complaining about how they hate the way that their guitar sounds. I hate the way my Epiphone Thunderbird sounds. There has to be a way to make it sound better, right? Okay. Hey, Bubba, what's up? No problem, man. You're good. We're just hanging out. I was playing a lot for a while, and then I was going to quit and say good night, and then John showed up, and then a bunch of other people showed up, and so here we are. So stay in. Thank you. I appreciate it. My bass player makes fun of me for using a pick, but that's okay. Like, I will admit, people who can finger pick like this with their bass, like, holy cow. That is absolutely amazing to me. Absolutely amazing to me. Like, that impresses me a lot. So yeah, go ahead and make fun of me for using a pick. That's fine. So, okay, guys, look, I need to ask you something. I found this on Marketplace. Let me see if I can find it and show you. I'm trying to work out a trade for this. Because it seems too good to be true. Okay, here. They are asking less than $100 for this, local to me. You see that? That's a Thunderbird Goth bass. In an Epiphone case, hard case. You see that? No, it's available. They just posted it today. Yes. That's the thing. So I live out in the middle of nowhere in Indiana. And I love it out here, by the way. But instruments are so cheap out here. Used like that? Yeah, sold. Yeah. Less than $100. I can't really buy that right now, but I'm thinking of trying to put something together. Like, I'm looking at Reverb for that right now, right? For an Epiphone Gothic Thunderbird. And those are selling for like $500 to $600. $500 to $600 for this. I know that the Gothic Les Paul is like $300 to $500. Like, this was like a whole line that they made back in, like, was it like 2000 to 2006, 2007-ish? Yeah, I mean, see, here's my problem, right? In my mind, I'm like, well, just get it and sell it. But that's not going to happen with that. With the Gothic Thunderbird? I mean, if I wouldn't sell it. So I have to say, okay, then can you spare doing that? I know it is. The case alone is worth like $60 at least. A full size, hard shell, Epiphone branded Thunderbird base case, for which I have a Thunderbird. Question number 2. Do you think that Thunderbird is better than this Thunderbird? I'm going to say no. I think it's worth more than this Thunderbird. But for me, my aesthetic, the things that I do, this is a classic right here. And they're the same exact guitar, man. They have the same bridge, the same pickups. Everything about it is identical. The only difference is that it has the limited edition Gothic design, which is really, really cool. It is a steal. But yeah, I know. I think it's made in Korea. 99% sure it's made in Korea, that's a good thing for that guitar. Mine is Chinese, so it's not exactly the same. Squire hardware rusty and neck is burnt. 200. 200 for a 94 anything though from Squire is a decent deal. Well, I wouldn't say deal. That's like average. Those Korean Squires are really nice though. They're almost as nice as the Japanese ones. Okay, why haven't they made a Telecaster with a Strat trim? I know they have. I'm just saying. Why haven't they made a Paranormal or something? Because I love the sound of a Telecaster. I love the neck pickup, and I love the bridge pickup, and I love everything about it, but I want a trim. Why can't Squire or Fender like make a Strat or make a Telecaster with a Strat trim? If I were good enough with the router, I would just make one myself. But do you really? Somehow I knew you would. I thought about getting a blank Strat pickguard and cutting holes for Telecaster pickups, but CN4? I don't know. My expertise on Squire begins in like 2000, and I know all about the Black Label one, but I don't know much about anything other than that. If you have the opportunity to play it, go play it and piss on what people say about its reputation. If it feels good in your hands and you like the way it sounds and you can afford it and it seems like a good price for you, who gives a shit what anybody else has to say about that? I mean, that's what I've learned over the years. People want to get all shitty about my Gibson Firebird Zero. That's not a real Gibson. It's not a real Firebird. Sure is a Zero. Those things are terrible. They're basically Chinese factory-made guitars, but they're made in America. I love the way it looks. I love the way it sounds. It is a Gibson. It's mine. I got it at a good price. I really could not care less about what other people think about it. Now, if I didn't have the opportunity to play something first and it had a bad reputation, depending on the price, I might still roll the dice on it. But I don't know enough about the CN4 or whatever. I mean, where did you see that? Did you see that on Squire Talk or something? I don't think I trust that website. Like, it's very... You can get good information from there, but a lot of the users there... I don't know. I don't want to say too much. I've not had a very good experience over there myself. They actually took my Black Label video and kind of ran it through the ringer and drugged me through the mud and said some pretty inappropriate things about me and my content and my that video. Um, I'm not saying that that's indicative and reflective of all the people there. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that be careful where what you take seriously from a place like that, because people are always louder when they hate something. So keep that in mind. When someone gives me grief, that's good. That's a good one. I like that one. I might steal that next time that happens. I did not know First Act made that. What? Now I have to look this up. That's insane. I have a First Act. It's I don't know where it is. It's down here somewhere. We'll talk about that guitar someday. Today's not that day, but it's got a story. I want to look up this one you're talking about though. Man, I'm trying to find it. It's hard because like they had really weird model names for their guitars, if they had model names at all. Like I know that Volkswagen one is worth a ton of money for some reason. They gave those away if you bought a Volkswagen, and it was the weirdest time. I don't know if you guys remember that, but there were all these TV commercials back then of Slash, and he was plugging his guitar, which was a First Act, into a Volkswagen Beetle, I think it was, and playing his guitar through the speaker system of the Volkswagen. And then they had this promotion where if you bought a new Volkswagen, they would give you a free guitar, electric guitar, and it was a Volkswagen branded First Act guitar. I'm not making this up. This really happened. And those guitars are worth hundreds of dollars to people. They're not very nice guitars, generally speaking. Like, they're not worth that much. They're cool. They have an interesting story, but, like, you should look up the commercial if you can find it. I need to set this stream up so that I can have a little window over here and, like over here, and we can watch stuff together. That'd be cool. But, yeah. Anyway, that was a weird time, man. I can't find this guitar. I believe that it exists, John. I can't find it because it's probably like a rare model, or it has a weird name, or something. Oh, wait. I think I might find it. Nope. God, that's weird looking, though. But it's not that one. This one has a hardtail bridge where the strings actually go through the... Oh my God, these guitars are so ugly. Oh, I forgot how ugly the First Act guitars were. Because they were so afraid of getting sued that they were, like, taking a design like an SG or a Telecaster or a Les Paul, and then they were, like, just absolutely butchering the cuts on these guitars. I'll set the stream up so we can do it like this next time, where I can show you what I see. But, like, just go to Google and look up, like, First Act electric guitar and just, like, look at some of these things. They are just absolutely horrible. There's a Les Paul with Strat pickups, but it's not quite a Les Paul. It's like a Les Telly with Strat pickups. There's a Strat in here with like the ugliest pickguard I've ever seen. There's I can't even describe what this shape is. This one is like an SG, but it got squished. This one's like a Dan Electro had a baby with a Jaguar. Wow. I should do a video on first act guitars now. Like, I forgot how fugly these guitars were. It makes me kind of want one, though. If I ever make it big and I'm playing in an arena show, I want to play a first act guitar for one song. I just want to do it. Yeah, John, I would love to see a video of that. Let me know when you've got it up. I want to watch it. I really want to see it. Ah, first act. My first act guitar is an embarrassment to myself, and it's an embarrassment to first act. I will talk about it another time. All right. Well, it's getting late. It's about 2:36 a.m., 2:37 a.m. here where I am. Sometimes I don't go to bed till 6 a.m. though, so it's not really that late for me. But did they really? Okay, I gotta research them now because I thought that they just made those Walmart guitars. I didn't know that they made those. Maybe they got bought out by somebody else and then they made the cheap guitars. That's really cool. You have piqued my interest. I'm gonna have to research this now. If there's a video about first act guitars, it's 100,000% your fault. Just so you know, if there's a video about this, it's all your fault. You started it. Anyway, it's getting late. All right. Thanks, man. You have a good night, and I'll see you next time. I am streaming tomorrow, just so you know, 7 o'clock Eastern time. So if you want to watch, I will be streaming from 7 Eastern to 10 Eastern in the evening. So that's 1900 to 2200. That's right. I've got a gig tomorrow on a lake. It's a fireworks show. My understanding is that we start at 7, we play for 3 hours, and then there's a big bang, and they set off like thousands of dollars worth of fireworks on this lake. Like I've never done it. The band's never done this. This is the first time for us, so I have no idea what to expect. I'm really excited for this. So yeah, tomorrow we're gonna definitely do that stream from 7 to 10. Depending on if I can make it work, I might actually stream the fireworks too. I don't know if anybody cares to see that, but I might stream that too. It depends though. Like I don't know if I'm going to be in the middle of tearing stuff down while this is happening. I don't know if my family's going to be there or not, or if it's just going to be me. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, so there will be a live stream tomorrow night. Yeah. Well, was there anything else you guys wanted to discuss before I shut this down? Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I am going to stream tomorrow. I really need to get a schedule out to you guys so that you know like when these are if you want to watch them. It's always going to be a Friday or a Saturday night. I can guarantee you that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, hope to see you there in the internet world. All right, guys. I think I'm going to call it for tonight. I appreciate all of you for being here and hanging out with me. This is really fun for me. I really enjoy doing this. sitting here and talking to you guys about this stuff and showing you stuff and just having conversations. I really like it. It's really fulfilling for me. So I appreciate it. Thank you. And I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time for, I think they've called it the Big Bang at the Lake. Bubba, I do. Let me see if it'll let me put a link in the chat here. I've not tried this. It should be in the description of this video too. But in the event that you cannot get to it, or if it doesn't work, I'm going to copy a link. And I'm going to put it right here. There. If you go to that link, you can join the Discord. So, yep, I just posted it in the chat, so hopefully you can see it. If not, you'll find it in the link, or in the description. See you tomorrow, John. See you tomorrow, everybody. Good night. Join the Discord if you want to keep talking, because I'll still talk to you even when I turn this off. So, see you guys. Have a good one. Good night. See you tomorrow at 7 Eastern.